Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Back in January, when Trump was inaugurated the 47th President of the United States, on day one, he pulled the US out of the WHO, the World Health Organization. And he did so for many reasons, not least of which, of course, was money. As he pointed out, China had 1.4 billion people, and India had 1.4 billion people. America only had 325 million people who were Americans, he said, and further 25 million who were illegal immigrants. He said, but the point is, with 350 million as opposed to the 1.4 billion of each of China and India, it seemed unfair that America was still the biggest contributor, paying about 20% of the entire budget. And he said, so that's it. He said, we're pulling out. It's unfair, and they don't want to address it. And they are doing an overreach of power. They are setting themselves up as having authority over nations, even though they aren't democratic. And indeed, the current leader, Tedros Ghebreyesus, he is only afforded freedom, really, because of the diplomatic position as head of the WHO. He's not a doctor, but he is an advocate for a group that the United States considers a terrorist organisation. In any other way, he would be on a watch list, let alone running the WHO. But this is having an effect now, and so the WHO is downsizing. It's getting rid of a lot of roles, it's getting rid of a lot of staff, it's merging departments, and it's basically screwed. It's looking for other countries to up their contributions, but other countries don't want to. They say, no, actually, the Americans are right. And so it's going to be in a lot of serious trouble. But of course, this is part of this. Rather, is that part of this is that overreach of power. It thinks it's important. It thinks it should say how countries get locked down, who can do what limits and what controls it can put on populations, without the necessity of actually standing for office, getting elected, and then trying to convince the national parliaments that this will be the thing. They just want to override and say, no, we're going to clamp down. Boom, like some kind of medical dictatorship. And of course, once the old feces hits the fan, Trump realised this and said, no, he's out. Boom. And the US left the WHO and says, the rest of you can do what you like, but you're not doing it in America, and you're not doing it with our money. Bye-bye. Well, there we go. And of course, this has now left this huge funding crisis, as I say. 600 million short this year. So it's going to be slashing its budget considerably, cutting its cloth, as it were. And so all these people are going to be going, but what do I do? For years, I've worked for this organisation, and now I don't. I'm going to have to go into the real world, but I'm not very good. All I've done is this. I haven't got any life skills. Deary me. And Tedros Ghebreyesus is absolutely worried for his own job. People now are saying perhaps the US were right and that this is not the right guy to be leading them. Deary me. Senior leadership jobs are going. Perhaps the most senior should be the first on the list. And let's have the WHO actually run by a doctor. Or is that just too weird an idea? Who knows? Well done, Trump. Another one bites the dust. Thanks very much. Bye.